Hello students, today in our video we will discuss more about operating system. So already we have finished 2 units of operating system. Today we will discuss the third unit, which is unit 3. This is the operating system unit 3. Okay. So in the first unit we have learned basic functions of operating system. Okay. So one of the important function of the operating system is memory management, process management, resource management, program execution controller, all the things. Okay. So important thing is that process management. Process management is the most important concept of the operating system. That is the main functions of operating system. Okay. So today learn the process management. The process management. So, what do you mean process? Okay, first of all, what do you mean process? So, process is nothing but it is an instance of a program in execution. Means process is nothing but it is a process is a task. Basic concept, process is a task. It is an instance of a program in execution. It is an instance of it is an instance of a program in execution. This is the process. It is the important function of the operating system. Also, it is the important function of the operating system. This process management is the important function of the operating system. So, whenever CPU performs, here CPU executes a program, that is the process. So, process management is contained with the management with the physical hardware and CPU. So, this management is concerned with physical hardware with the CPU. That is the allocation of process or task or job to the processor. Okay, so each processor is responsible to perform a process. Okay, so here physical hardware and CPU. Okay, allocation of a physical hardware and CPU or allocation of a process or task or job to a processor. So it is an important function of the operating system. Okay, so it is the smallest unit of work individually schedulable by operating system. So this process is schedulable. It is schedulable by operating system, or it is an important function of the operating system where there is a scheduler to schedule all processes. The processes means several tasks that will be in proper schedule. The proper schedule of processor of the operating system processes or manages. Okay, it manages. So it is the instance. It is the instance of a program in execution. Whenever a program execution takes place, means a process executes this program. Okay. So this is the basic concept of the process is either explicitly or implicitly present in all multi-program operating system. So either implicitly or explicitly that is present in multi-program operating system. Okay. So operating system is the computer system software. Again, previously we know it is a system software, and a process can be defined as a program in execution. So this operating system defines the process is a program. It's a program in execution. So process can be defined as the program in execution. This is an instance of a running program. Also, you can call the instance of a running program. The instance of a running, whenever a program run or being executed by a processor, that is the instance. The program in instance, program in execution, or instance of the program in execution is the process. In many ways, we can understand what is the process. Okay. So the entity that can be assigned to or executed on a processor, that is the process. So here, suppose a text file. Suppose I am going to execute a text file. So this is the text file. Okay, this is the text file. This is the program. Means this is the program. So this file must be executed. So this file, while executing, whenever this file is executing by the computer system, that is the process. That is the process. So this process is done by the processor, which is initially in main memory of the computer system. Are you getting it? So process is nothing but the instance of the program in execution. It is schedulable by the operating system. The process can be schedulable. Have process 1, then what will be executed. So whenever a program is being executed by the computer system, that is the process. But the operating system, again, it is the system software. So process is associated with the system software. Suppose this is text file or this is a program. This program needs to be executed in main memory. So whenever it is being executed in main memory, that is in form of process. Because there are some processors. These processors really execute the instructions of the program. Suppose we have written a program, there are so many instructions. So to execute, to do in the practical level, to get the output from that program, we have to execute all instructions written in a particular program. So whenever a program will be executed by the computer system, it requires a process. So process is nothing but the instance of a program in execution, or program in execution, or instance of a running program. Whenever we run the program, that is the program execution. So for the program execution, a processor is required. Okay. Then, so here the process is required, and the operating system in the computer system, the operating system is a normal system software. It assists hardware in the performing process management function. So important function of the operating system, that is a process management. It assists. There are so many hardwares that will associate with a particular process, because there is a scheduler. There is a scheduler that schedules what are the hardware will be used to execute a program, that is the process. Okay. So operating system, process management function. Operating system has an important function of process management. Operating system has an important function of process management. Also, that means it creates and removes processes. So what are the important functions of the process? The important function of the operating system, that is the process management. So this process management includes what are the creating or removing the processes, creating or removing the processes. So process, whenever required, it will be created. Whenever not needed, it will be removed. So process, because there is a scheduler. Scheduler schedules the process and process out. Process in, process out. Okay. So process management generally involves creating a process or removing the process. Then controlling the progress of the process. Another is controlling controlling the progress of processes. So whenever a process executes, what is the progress, how it is executing the instructions of the program, or how it is executing the program, that program progress, it will control. It controls the progress of the process. Okay. Now it allocates the hardware resources. It allocates or allocating the hardware resources to process. This is the discussion of the process management. So this process management involves all these points. For each process, it requires a hardware instrument or hardware peripheral. So this system has to allocate what are the hardware resources, what are the hardware required to execute some programs or for a particular process. For a particular process, it requires a program and a processor. So what are the hardware required, that will be also allocated by this process management system. And also it provides a means of communicating messages. Communicating messages within or between processes. Okay, common messages or signals among processes. Messages or signals, you can call it signals among processes. So communicating messages or signals among processes. Okay, and this is this all the other functions or the important role of this process management of operating system. Okay, and acting an exceptional condition or arising during the execution of a process. Okay, so this is all about the process and process management. Clear? Process and process management. Whenever instructions are being executed in your program, or whenever a program is being executed in the system, that a process is required. So a process is nothing but a program in execution, or a program needs certain resources including CPU time. So for process management, it requires a CPU time. It requires a CPU time. Okay, and some memory. Okay, some input-output devices or hardware devices. So for a process, it requires some input values, and after processing, you provide some information that will come out by the output device. So some hardware resources like input devices, output devices, memory, CPU time. Okay, to accomplish all its tasks. So to perform a task, to execute a program, or for the process, these are the requirement. Input output devices, memory, and CPU time. Okay, scheduler is also required. Okay, so this is all about the process concept. Basic concept of the process concept is the process concept. Okay, so a process, again, it is an instance of a program in execution. The process is active entity, also you can call as active entity. Now we'll discuss about what is exactly process is. This is the process management, but exactly what do you mean by the process? Whenever a program is run, is utilized for execution, a program in execution, that is the process. So when we mean process, it is the instance of a program in execution that I have written here. Again, this process is the instance of a program in execution. Program in execution. So process is the active entity. It is the active entity. It is the active process, is the active entity, because it performs, it is a very important role. Okay, the active entity process is the active entity because process really execute the programs or instructions. Okay, so the process is running a program with some specific task to do. So each process is a running program. It's a running program. It is a running program with some specific task to do. Having a specific task to do. It is a running program having a specific task to do. The CPU is a dynamic concept. The process is dynamic concept because this is a dynamically changeable. That refers to a program in execution. It is dynamically. Means it refers to a program in execution dynamically. Okay, it refers the program dynamically. It refers the program dynamically. Means a runtime or the time of requirement, not a fixed dynamically. It can refer the program, refer the instruction, program for execution. So it resides in main memory. Normally it resides in main memory. This process resides in main memory. And what will be the lifespan of this memory? Because the span of the time is limited. Memory having limited lifespan. You know the lifespan of a variable, if it is static or global or external. So how much the process will be active, because it is the active entity, and that will give the limited lifespan. Okay, the process concept is present in every multi-programming operating system. So this program concept, this process concept is present in every multi-programming operating system. So it is present. This process is present in every multi-programming operating system. So in multi-programming operating system, this process is present. Okay, so this is all about the process concept. Okay, instance of the program in execution. So for executing every instruction of the program, it requires a process. This process is the important part of the operating system. The operating system performs this process management. This management system controls all these things: how process will be created, how process will be removed, how process will be communicating between processes, how signals will be passed to one process to another process, what is the message to be communicated between among processes. So it is important how the progress of the execution of the program, that will be also performed by this process management. So this is the basically process and the process concept of the operating system. Okay, this is the process and the process concept of the operating system. Okay. Now we can find difference between program and process. What is the program and what is the process? Now find the difference. So we know program the instructions, set of instructions, and here the process that executes the instruction. Okay, so it consists of instruction in any programming language. So this is the instruction. This is the instructions written in any programming language. So to write the program, nothing but the set of instructions. So these instructions written in any programming language. It requires a computer programming language to write the instructions. The instructions are nothing but the program. But process consists of instruction execution in machine language. It consists of instructions normally all these instructions must be in machine code. The instruction execution in machine code, only machine code. Execution in only machine code, because computer only understands the machine language. These instructions must be in machine code, but program instruction can be written in any programming language. Okay, a program instruction can be written in any programming language, but for processes, all instructions must be in machine code or machine language, because whenever only machine language instructions, the instructions in machine language form, that can be executed by the computer system. Okay, so it is a machine code. So it is a static object. This is program, the static object. Static object means it is a fixed at time of initialization or very initial process, but this is dynamic object. Dynamically, according to our requirement, okay, according to our requirement, we can need it. So dynamically changeable, but this is static means once fixed means always this is fixed for the lifetime. Okay. So it is resided in secondary storage device. These programs is also resides in secondary storage device. But here this process it resides in main memory. Resides in main memory. This is primary memory. This memory is the primary memory. Okay, so programs may be resided in secondary storage, secondary memory. It requires the primary memory. Okay, so the lifespan of the program is unlimited. So lifespan of the program is unlimited, whereas the lifespan of a process is limited lifespan. Because whenever process is no more required, that must be removed, must be deallocated or deleted or removed. Okay, so only primary memory requires to process. That process must be entered into the primary memory. Then only the execution of the instruction can be done. Okay, so it is a passive entity. Again, program is the passive entity. Program is the passive entity. So this is active entity. So active means whenever process really executes, directly it will be executed. But a program that will indirectly, the entity will be not direct, not active. It is a passive entity. It requires some others help for execution, because the program is required for compilation. It must be translated to machine language. So whenever the instruction need to come to the machine code, then only the process executes the instructions. Okay. So all the instructions for the process must be in machine code, and dynamically it will be changeable. Dynamically it will be changed. But a program here, as you once fixed means it is fixed. It is static by nature. And also all instructions of the process must be decided in main memory or primary memory for execution. Unless until the instructions of the process in the primary memory that cannot be executed, means that cannot be program cannot be come to the process. Whenever program instructions of the program are coming to the process, that must be machine code. And here the lifespan is also limited. Lifespan is also limited because process is, whenever process is no more required or completed, it will remove away from the main memory. Okay, so whenever we remove away from the main memory, or instructions will be lost from the main memory, means the lifespan, a very limited lifespan. Okay, very limited lifespan, and it is the active entity. Whenever it comes to the memory, it will perform its function. But a program must be converted to machine language, then it will come to the process, then execution takes place. So we are telling that process is nothing but a program in execution. Okay, so this is the difference between a program and a process. So in this class we will more clear about what is a program, what is a process, what is a process management of the operating system. Okay, this is the process management concept of the operating system. Okay, so for more and other concept of the process management, we will discuss and watch the next video classes. Okay, so thank you for watching all the things. Okay.